karibuni sana. Hi, y'all.
Hi. This is crazy.
Can you see me, Aman? I think I've been struggling with this light. Like, am I visible?
Yes, you are visible and very beautiful.
All right, thank you very much. And I can see our fans are already tuned in right now. And let me take the opportunity right now to introduce. First and foremost, I have much respect for my fans. I can see they are all, we're already at 4,000, we're already at 5,000. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do with these guys. I know they should play from music so they can call. I think mothers are still cooking. Fathers are getting into the packing. Yeah, and everything is just, I believe it's just moving so smooth. And on Facebook as well, we have 5,000 people already watching.
Wonderful.
Right? Passing over Lupita's. The problem is we can't join Facebook together, but I'll be passing over the love and they can hear you as well.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
You're welcome. Let me take the opportunity to introduce myself. My official name, my M-Pesa name is Esther Kokeo. If you want to send me some money. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm the president of Single Mothers. I am a mother of 5 children, 3 girls and 2 boys. Yeah, I am that woman. I live my life one day at a time. And let me take the opportunity now to introduce Wakanda Forever. Lupita. I'll tell you about this Wakanda Forever one day. My children want me to go to the movie. I don't go to the movie because my English is, my fans understand. So let me take the opportunity to introduce the Kenyan's pride. You are our pride, and that is the truth. I learned about you from all kinds of positive energy, and my kinsmen take you personally. You know that I don't want to mention them, say we are tribalistic, but we take you personally. The multi-award-winning Hollywood actress, I'm not about trap, an Oscar award-winning Wakanda Forever, Lupita Nyong'o Nyarseme, Mbas Mama Dorothy, your mom is pretty. Counting. Yeah, excellent. Karibu sana, and that is our Sulwe.
Oh, thank you so much for the warm welcome.
You're most welcome.
It is a pleasure to be doing this live with you. I learned about you from my mom. My mom met you at a function, and she was so disarmed by you and so just enthralled by you. I never heard her speak of another woman like that, and she just was so impressed with how honest you were and accessible and just real. And so she really had a crush on you, I would say. And so I was so intrigued, and I was like, oh my God, I really want to get to know this woman, this incredible woman who speaks her mind and stands up for what she believes and is also extremely generous. So thank you for the work you do.
You're most welcome. Your mother is a beautiful soul. I first saw her when I had a function in Kisumu, and I saw this beautiful, well-composed lady, and she keeps time. Being the wife of a governor, she keeps time, and she's down to earth, and her skin, and her figure, she just takes over. And from then I dropped makeup, actually. And I was like, if I could age like her, I want to age like some fine wine. She changed my mindset. And the way she was just looking at me with love, and you would see the realness. Yeah. So a lot of courage. And also having seen you in person and met this completely down to earth person, and it's even different from whatever we see on social media. I mean, like, you're completely a different person. And that also kept motivating me. And today, you see, like, the way I look.
I know. You're glowing.
Yeah, thank you. I just need, I take very little, I use very little on my skin because I already know I've already adjusted and I've already taken care of who I am, and I've accepted the person I am. And after meeting you and seeing what the kind of a person you are, with all these awards, all these countries you traveled, and the simplest person I've ever met, you know what, girl, I am fan.
Oh, thank you very much.
Second, and thank you to people. And
Sorry?
fans, yeah. Can you shout out some fans there on your side?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, High Five Flames is in the house. Lucky Star 4050, hello. What's up, Pole? I don't know whether I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. The love is pouring in for sure. I haven't done very many of these lives, so it's a learning curve.
You have to learn how to. I live on social media because I get paid for that, so I'm always live.
I'm taking notes from you, Akothee. I'm definitely taking notes.
Yeah, you have to, because this life, you know. And like I wanted really, after I tried this book Sulwe, which is the reason as to why we are here. You know, I'm like my mom. If I'm given a microphone, I'm gonna end up I don't know where. And when I read this book, trust you me, first and foremost, I went like, oh my goodness, I did not know that colorism, you call it my English, I already asked permission from before, it's colorism.
Yes, colorism, you're right.
Colorism.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, the colorism. I did not know it affected so many people. I didn't understand this. I thought it was only me, because being a celebrity, people kept on bashing me and telling me how ugly I am, if I should have been brown, that'd be much more better. So sometimes I sat down and started following some fans. I said, this lady has said I'm ugly. Maybe she's prettier than me. Let me go to her page and check what beauty means. Until I arrived there and said, I will know. Oh, sorry. If this is what it's all about, I think I'm very fine. I read Sulwe. This one now stamped my beauty and boosted my self-esteem from 120 to 199.9.
Wow.
Especially when I arrived in the middle, where you tried to take off the skin so that you can reach the flesh, the red meat, so that you can be the same like other girls that you see and you think they are pretty. Even when we were in school, we thought that light-skinned girls are more prettier. When we used to go for those, you call it what? When we used to go for those, I don't know, you call them what? Those secondary school visits.
Yeah.
Light-skinned girls were chased more than the dark skin. So I had to yellow punk. I had to do something unique so that I can be recognized. But now I don't even do much. I mean, when I walk into Amsterdam, so all the heads stand on me. I just need to have that big hair and stamp my feet with pride. So I would really take this opportunity to thank you for this book. When I read to my boys, Oyo, the younger one, is more social. I need some light. You have to switch on something. I need them to see my skin. Am I dark from your side? Is it dark?
I mean, you're dark, but I can see you.
Okay.
I can definitely see you.
Yes. So when I read the book, we came back from Kisumu and I was so tired. The boys were like, Mommy, you have to read the book. I want to know about Sulwe. I want to learn about Sulwe. I was so tired. I was reading and I think, I was always falling asleep, and they kept on saying, please, you have to explain what Sulwe is all about. When I finished reading the book to Oyo, he went like, oh, I'm going to marry a dark girl. So he felt pity, like he did not know how much it affects someone when he's discriminated.
Right.
And the one, Ojuang, said, oh, from today henceforth, I will never discriminate anybody. So you see, it taught them something. And they were like, I want to come to Kenya more and hug the dark girls.
Yeah.
So I believe this book is a book that has to penetrate, and all mothers need to read the book for their children, because you can only build your the child's self-esteem. The first words the child listens to are from their parents. And this book, to me, it is a blessing, not only for me, but to all the parents who have children, not only girls, but also men.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I wrote it, because when I was growing up, I got teased for my skin, and but I also had a sister who was born after me, who was a lot lighter skinned than me, and so it was from relatives and friends going, oh, she's so brown and beautiful, she's so brown and beautiful, and never hearing that said about me. So it was the first time when I was around 5, when I felt like there was something wrong with my dark skin. I was surrounded by dark-skinned people, but how come it wasn't associated with beauty, And so I started to do a lot of the things that Sulwe does in the book. And it means, I also was feeling self-conscious about myself, because in school, all the books that we read, all the children's books had white people in them. So I never really got a chance to see dark skin in children's books. So that's why I wanted to write Sulwe, to help children right now learn that they're beautiful before the world tells them anything else, right? Because when you're young, at that point, before the world has told you what you're worth, your parents and yourself, you have an opportunity to really to build yourself up. So yeah, that was definitely the inspiration. So thank you. I'm glad it meant a lot to you.
Yeah, it did. And to my surprise, most successful people like you would like to write just their journey, and nobody really thought about kids. How you don't have kids yourself? How did you think about writing about a book for kids? Why not how you became a superstar? Because everybody wants to be a superstar. I love kids, but I've never thought about writing books for kids.
Yeah, I mean, I love children. So, and I hope my window for having them has not passed. Because I was hurt as a child by my skin, I felt like a way to write this book would make my wound my weapon. And so that's why I wanted to write it, almost to heal the wound inside myself, but also to provide it for kids today. Like I just love the idea of being able to influence how a child sees themselves. So yeah, it was a gift to my past self and also to the present children.
Wow, this is this book, like I told you before, you remember I told you that this book should be in schools, at least if not at home. And all the mothers who are tuned in, please make sure you buy this book and read it sentence after sentence, page after page, and trust me, you're gonna be blessed. Yeah. So in Sulwe, the story shows how we can discover nourishment and fulfillment right inside of us. How did your personal experience influence Sulwe?
Well, yeah, like I said, when I was younger, I remember trying. So I grew up, of course, in a Christian home, and I learned that God performs miracles. And so the miracle that I wanted was light skin. So I would go to bed every night and pray for light skin so that this God of miracles would perform it. And so I would wake up and I'd still be as dark as I was. And then I think, it's because I'm a sinner. So I would negotiate with God and say, okay, if I don't steal any more sugar, please make me light skinned. And I did this for a lot of time. And then after a while, I just thought, well, God really is not a God of miracles. God does not know what he's doing, was what I thought after a while. Either that or I'm a terrible person and I'm going straight to hell. Now, I know both those things are not true. But it's these kinds of experiences, because kids have wild imaginations, and kids can also be very literal. You tell them something and they're going to believe exactly that. So that's what was some of the stuff that informed what happened.
About that, I think at one point people don't know that I tried to bleach. I tried to change my skin color. This one was, we were living in Nairobi. I was still married, and I used to go to church and see all this colored skin, light skin mothers. I didn't know that we were in Nairobi, where these are Bantus, because the color of the skin, it determines.
Give me the phone and call them and tell them. I don't know why I need to. They're standing by. Get back. Switch on the light behind me. Before. Switch on the light behind me. My village witches not let me do my thing. My village witches are really active. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
It's all right. We're here.
My village witches will not let me do my things. Well, we're back. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys. They're back here. So we were at a situation whereby at one point in life, I think I'm the one who's dark. You see, I've refused to accept this color, trying to look for light, but I think we are better now.
No, we see you. We see you.
Yeah, I tried to use, you know, this product we used to buy somewhere behind. It was called something light, Carolite or something. I tried to change my color so I could look beautiful, because I believe that women who are, you know, who are light skin are more prettier than me. And then what I didn't like was my knuckles didn't look the same. Then my behind was awful, and you know, it was just, I always felt like something is just amiss.
Yeah.
So it took me time, and I think the person who made me feel that I am pretty was Papa Oyo. He wouldn't even allow me to do makeup. He said, "You are beautiful. You are such a beautiful woman." He built my self-esteem, and slowly by slowly, I began to collect myself. And you know, the noise that comes from outside cannot affect me, because inside there is a strong woman who believes and knows that I'm actually very pretty. So whatever comes from outside cannot destroy me, because I've already built the thick skin from within. And thank you once again for Sulwe.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So what have you learned about yourself from writing this book, Sulwe? What have you discovered?
Well, what have I discovered from writing Sulwe? Well, I definitely discovered that writing a children's book is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
You know, when I started writing the book, I thought, this is going to be really quick. You know, one weekend, I'll have the story and that's that. But it was not the case. I mean, it's actually really hard, because you have to distill, you know, complex ideas into very simple language. So it took me a total of 2 years to complete Sulwe. It's the truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think this one should be your next career. Please write some more books, because I'm planning to have more children. This one is, yeah, it's you know, it's an art for you to even just think about children. There are not so many books to be read for children, and especially the fact that now you made it in 3. What made you think of doing the 3 versions? Especially, I would like to read the Luo version. I would love to read the Luo version to my kids.
I mean, your Luo is like honey, so you should definitely do that. I wanted to write it in Swahili and have it written in Swahili and Luo, because I just felt like I wished I had children's books in my mother tongue and in our national language, more children's books in our national language than we really did. And I think it's a pity that we always we end up developing our colonial language and ignoring or neglecting our native languages. So for me, the idea, I mean, the first language I uttered was Luo. And so, and you know, along the way, you go to school, and in school, you're in a multi-ethnic environment, and they outlaw speaking in your mother tongue. And for a little child, that registers as my mother tongue is bad. And so I stopped speaking Luo at some point regularly. And because I stopped speaking it, my Luo suffered for it. I still speak it, and I understand more than I'm able to speak. But I feel so sad that I kind of lost it. And so writing the book in Luo, having it available in Luo, was also to serve that audience that A, might not understand English, but also B, might want to just hold on to their native tongue. And it was not easy. And, you know, at first the publishers thought, this is not going to sell because because there's no market for it. But there's no market for it because there's no books being written in Swahili and translated into those languages with regularity. So I was like, well, let's try. Let's see whether there will be a market for it. And it's been amazing. It's been astounding how many people want that copy in Swahili, want that copy in Luo, and hopefully it reaches more people. And the desire is to have it in other languages as well. I just started with the ones that come easily for me.
Wow, great, great. And I think it's a blessing because my mom was a teacher before she went into politics, and we definitely had during my time, you had to speak your language. There was a vernacular, it was called, and there was a book called Apirima. This Apirima, there was something called Aneno Dele Kachamolu, Bloom Chamodele, or something of the sort. So, you know, we were taught to speak our mother tongue, the first language. Most people think that when you speak language, you are primitive. Well, me, I love speaking in Luo, especially when I'm gospel. I love my mother tongue. Even when I'm doing employment, normally I have to check someone doesn't speak my language because I gossip a lot in the car because normally I work a lot. So
yeah.
I have most of my fans from the central, and they requested if you could publish Sulwe, please, in also in all the 47 languages. Trust me.
You know what?
Far.
I would love that. What it takes is demand. So yes. It's not. There has to be a demand for it. There have to be people clamoring for it, and then the Kenyan publisher will have no choice but to translate it into those languages. So please, exactly. If you want the language if you want to know in your language, let it be known. The Kenyan publisher is Bookbank, and yeah, take it up with them. Make it happen. Yes, please.
Yeah, in the meantime, I can see people asking how much is the book and where can I get the book? In Kenya, is it available in France? I can see some people from Germany. Larry Baba official is asking, where can he buy the book from Germany?
Okay, the German one is yet to come. It's in in development, but it exists. Right now. I think Sulwe exists in Portuguese, Arabic, Korean, German, and French. I think those are. French. So you know it will be there.
Right.
But in Kenya you can find it at Textbook Center and Mom's Village mainly.
Oh, okay. So in Kenya you can find it at Textbook Center, Mom's Village, Rafu Books, Prestige Bookshop, right? Nuria Bookstore. Make sure you go and grab your piece of Sulwe. And could you guys tell us the meaning of Sulwe? Because some people are wondering what Sulwe is.
Sulwe means star in Luo. And I've always loved the sound of that word. I remember walking with my mom. We were in our village and walking with my mom, and she looked up at the stars and she just said in Luo, "Look at those stars." And that word Sulwe just stayed with me, and I always thought, man, one of these days I'm gonna have a daughter and I'm gonna name her Sulwe. And so really this book is my first child.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So some people ask the questions. Some people ask, okay, just hold on. We are gonna answer you. Lupita gonna answer all the questions, including those who are dropping their hands in marriage. Oh, someone is asking for your hand in marriage. She's gonna reply that. Please just allow us go through and listen to our superstar introduce Sulwe officially to us. The crazy fans. So you've spoken about how you've learned to define beauty on your own terms and the importance of colonizing society's notions of beauty. Talk to us about that journey.
I mean, yeah. Well, I think it's about, you know, I think sometimes society's standards of beauty can be quite narrow. That's why you have this European notion of beauty being the most popular one, right? Light skin, straight hair, and all that. And because I didn't fit into that mold, it took me some time to find my footing and to appreciate the beauty in my dark skin. But also, my mother really helped to instill in me that beauty is beyond that. Beauty is about how you are, what you bring from your inside, what you exude, the qualities that you operate with. And I think love and grace and kindness are forms of beauty that actually end up complementing what you look like.
Beautiful. I love your mother. I love your mom to death. She's full of positive energy. And for the fans who are tuned in, you heard that most 3/4 of the time about Lupita's beauty, it is her mother who kept on reminding her. So those who are looking for role models, please, your mother.
Yes.
Before you point fingers to any celebrity, charity begins at home. Your mother should be your role model. My mother is my role model. She taught me how to wake up. Okay, not role model in terms of dressing. I'm not a very normal person when it comes to dressing. I dress my body according to how I understand it. But my mother is my role model. She works hard. She's a philanthropist. She goes out of her way to give what she can. So to those who are on board right now, just know that for your child to be responsible, do not allow society to raise your child for you. You as a mother, you are fully responsible for your own child. The child that you brought on this planet Earth should be your sole responsibility before you bring it to the society. Because if Lupita was not taught by her mother, she would have become a nuisance. And you see, she keeps on referring to her mother. When she could not hold her skin, it is her mother. When she was being discriminated, it is her mother. So your mother should be your first role model before you bring your children or your child for the society to raise your children, right?
Yeah, and there's someone here, Karma 8 Kitty, who says that her father was the positive person. And that happens too, you know. I mean, you know, I think it's the responsibility of both parents. And if you have that, then your battle is half won, to have parents that support you. And in the situations where you don't have that, you can find other adults who might fill that role. But I think it's really important to have a positive image to look up to. You know, the world is, you know.
When a child is born, the first person they set their eyes on are their parents, right?
Right.
So as a parent,
I can talk Swahili.
Yes, they can speak. They're asking for us to speak in Swahili. We also have Sulwe published in Swahili as well. I think we have here. Unaweza kuongea Kiswahili? Tafadhali unaweza kuongea Kiswahili?
Ninaweza kuongea Kiswahili, lakini Swahili langu ni ya Mjaluo. Okay? I speak Swahili like Jaluo, please.
Okay. Sasa tutauliza swali moja kwa Kiswahili. Wanauliza kwa sababu gani, unasikiaje wakati uliamua kuchapisha hichi kitabu cha Sulwe hapa mjini Kenya?
Why is this? Why? Atikuchapisha. I mean, I told you I don't speak Swahili like Luo.
I'm listening. You tell me now.
No, you listen. Yeah. The thing is, you know, Swahili started at the coast, and the Luos were the last one to hear about it. Okay. So
thank you. Very good. And now let's go to Kijaluo then. One word for the kinsmen. Watakasirika.
Okay.
I put it right because thank God you opened your mouth and talking to me, because I was panicking, but not so panicking because we had spoken before. Otherwise, I would be sweating all over. I fear English.
You do? But you speak it. You're speaking it right now.
I do. I speak English. Oh my goodness.
Of course you speak English.
I speak more Luo than English. I think I speak Anglo-Luo. So my parents made me believe I don't speak English. So I'm always in my small corner.
No.
Yes. They love it. They love it when they insult me. I normally tell them, when you're insulting me, please just garnish it with a bit of respect. Just garnish it. I understand. Don't remind me of my problems. My English teacher was always coming to class in some other, you know. So I have some women tuned in here and some kinsmen asking, I should ask you this question in Luo.
Okay, ask me in Luo, but I will listen, you can ask me in Luo, and like, if I can, at least my understanding will be there, and then I need to be taken out of this exam, please.
The way you gave me strength in that, you know, I went to watch this because it was trending, so I didn't want to be left out. I don't like movies because those English talk to me, but those English, they pass me. I've understood. You know, when you accept yourself, it's better. So my kids insisted that we should go and watch. I can see what's trending. I didn't want to be left out, so I went. The moment I walked in, the first 5 minutes, things were going around like this. I switched off. So I fell asleep because my eyes were also, I don't really like movies, but I had to go just to go and witness my, my Nyaseme do her thing. Those English gave me headache. Now, it's reality. I mean, I speak Luo English and Anglo English. So
listen, own it. You speak it and
you.
you add spice to it, and please, your English is definitely better than my Luo. So go ahead, ask that question.
Yeah, as long as if English can take me from point A to point B, I can survive in America. I've been surviving a bit when I go to collect awards. And this is getting interesting. And I can see some fans have questions for you. Please, could you kindly read the questions that fans were asking, or you want me to read them for you?
Oh, yeah, no, I can do that. Okay, let's see.
You give them a shout out, they can also feel, part and parcel of us. Are you guys enjoying, or should we end the live? We don't want to be boring. Oh, my English is coming. Lupita, we should be doing this live more.
Wait, I can't find the questions. Hold up. Where are the questions? Oh, here. I think I have them. The questions. Okay, what's one thing about you that you love and one thing you could change about yourself? Asks Wayne. I think Wayne Kufe. I'm not sure. I would say one thing that I love about myself is that I like my legs. I do. I like my legs. They take me.
Wait.
What?
I had never noticed your legs until one of my brothers said, "Her legs." I'm like, when did you see Lupita's legs?
They're there.
He is married, so I will not say his name. Let the wife walk away.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. That I am not mad at my legs, thank you, Lord. And one thing that I could change about myself, I would change. I wish I was more forgiving. I have a hard time forgiving. I can hold a grudge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What about you? What do you love about yourself, and what would you like to change about yourself?
What I love about myself most is that I've only been myself since I was born. And I've never been somebody else. So I can never be somebody else. And if there's anything that I would like to change about myself is having a big heart. I forgive too quick and I get hurt all the time. So you are in the right. I move on faster than the people who hurt me. So they keep on coming back to hurt me. But the most beautiful part of my body is my legs.
Okay.
I have the longest legs ever.
Yes, you do.
I only shop in South Africa. I only shop in South Africa because in Europe, the trousers don't fit my legs. I am longer from the waist down.
Right.
Upstairs, God can sort out because even a goat has appearance.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So I feel you. With the forgiving and as a celebrity, I feel you. I'm learning to try to not really to forgive, and but I don't.
Wait, no. I think your quality is admirable. Being able to forgive will help you sleep at night. It's good. It's good for your health to forgive. So please don't curse yourself.
I don't know how to take out this hat, and just think. Me, we can fight today and tomorrow we are talking. I'll actually be calling you. But now the problem is some people, when they wrong you and you go to ask forgiveness, you don't forgive because they deserve it. I forgive because I have no warehouse to keep. Imagine if I start keeping grudge with all the people who wronged me.
Yeah.
I would die of their baggage instead of walking.
Precisely.
Because they keep on wronging me every single day. And that's why every year I buy a new phone with a new life. So I leave people behind as I move on into my new life. Makes my luggage easier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Next
okay,
question.
so
these people. Yeah.
Okay, Chine Chine Ezekwesili asked, I believe there's gratitude to be found in every experience because in every experience, even the negative ones, is a lesson. What about your experience of colorism are you grateful for? I would say that I'm grateful. My experience with colorism gave me a story to tell. And I'm grateful for that, you know? You, like I said, like you make your wound your weapon, and that's where you find great strength. So for me, I'm grateful for the experience. I wouldn't want to wish it on anyone, and that's why I wrote Sulwe to hopefully have fewer kids go through that. But I'm definitely grateful to have had that experience.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Turn your wounds into wisdom.
Right.
That is the only way you can be a courageous person. I mean, like when, you know, everyone who comes into your life is either a lesson, a curse, or a blessing. So even them haters, we love them. I saw Chine asked about negative ones, people who are negative who comes. How do you deal with negativity? I mean, like, you just wake up and put a beautiful photo, maybe you're having dinner, and all of a sudden, boom!
Yeah, I mean, one thing I do is I try and protect myself from negativity. So I don't go looking for it. I mean, these days with social media, there's so many opportunities to find negativity. So I try and stay away from sensational comments and stuff like that. And I try and just be as present as possible. I also meditate, which is very, very helpful to just just let go of things. Because like I said, I have trouble forgiving. So if I feel negative energy, it stays with me for a long time. So I try and avoid it to begin with. And I surround myself with people who know me and love me, you know? And yeah, just keep the circle small and meaningful.
The haters that I fear most are the ones who are present and physically in my life. But the one on social media, my bread and butter. I will go there, I will scroll and leave all because the positive ones already motivate me. So I'm looking for those who have refused to accept that I've actually made it. Yeah. And what I learned about haters, especially on social media, for me, they don't get it. I take them as you know, they are my watchdogs. Okay, they are my watchdogs. So at least they keep me on toes. All right. So I want them to live longer so they can still see the achievements and show them that the things they say they couldn't achieve, now I'm achieving in their presence. And you know, you can never pour from an empty cup, right? If you have love, you pour love. If you have hatred, you pour hatred. So I believe people who hate on social media, they have too much hatred within themselves. They hate themselves so much that the heart is willing to do what you're doing, but the body is weak. So the only way they can they can try to bridge the gap between you and them is talk you out of your dream, right? I've been told so much, and I love it because when they don't troll me, I'm not making money. I need them to talk. Because if they don't, also when they don't insult me, I'm not feeling very well because I need them to talk. So I'm popping from all tabloids. It's making fun for me. But the truth of the matter is there's a lot of frustration on social media from the haters. There's a lot of frustration right now, especially with the COVID. And most people find solace and comfort in trolling celebrities. When I learned how to deal with the fans, is you can see that when a celebrity is going through a hard time, they celebrate. When you're doing good, they celebrate. When you are doing bad, they abandon you. So it's a love-hate relationship. So you have to know how to deal with these people. Haters on social media don't scare me. The ones who scare me are the ones that are around me and I do not know that they hate me. You know, this one have already introduced themselves. Yeah. So before we get out of the context, next question.
You reading it or I'm reading it?
No, it's your question. They're asking you.
Okay. Are you producing the animation film for Sulwe? And if so, will you produce it under your own company? The answers are yes and yes. I'm working, of course, with Netflix. I'm very excited about Sulwe becoming a animated musical, because Netflix has such a wide reach, and it was so important to me. And we all live on Netflix, more or less, and it was important to me to have it on a platform where people at home could watch it. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great learning experience for me, and I think I'm going to grow a lot from it. And the team there is just wonderful.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. So what have you been doing to keep sane during COVID? Oh, well, that one, Walpa PB, Melissa Howell asked that question. And I would say, I think COVID and lockdown made me really realize how much I missed my family. So I speak to my family every day. I try and spend as much time with them as possible. And that has been a great change. You know, in the world as it was before, you're moving so fast, you don't have time for the people you love. And then when the world shuts down, you realize that that's all that matters, you know, is the people that you love and people that you can touch and have an effect on. And so it just gave me it reprioritized how I spend time with my family. And they've kept me sane. Yeah. How about you? How have you stayed sane during COVID?
During COVID, I would say that I'm sorry that COVID really shut down a lot of businesses and the lives and so on. But personally, I really grew during this COVID, and I got time to bond with my kids, apart from the one who are living in France because of the lockdown. But I really found out who my girls are after they became women. You know, they left my hands and became women, from children to women. And I found more about myself. I actually realized that I didn't need a lot of people around me. Before, I used to move around with not less than 10 people, maybe because I was just paranoid about, I still have the paranoia. I can't leave my house to go shopping, actually, because I have no freedom anymore. Do you know what I'm talking about? So after COVID came, I actually realized that I can actually stay a whole month at home without living outside. And it gave me opportunity to even think much more. I grew much more. I identified the kind of a person I am. I worked on my emotions. I developed quite a lot. I learned when, how, why to spend money. I actually realized that not so many things really did make sense. I was one person who would move. I just wake up in the morning and call. Can you get me a flight to South Africa? Can you get me a flight to France? I was just all over the place for nothing. And my bills reduced from 3.5 million a month, the light is off, 3.5 million a month to 1.5 a month. So COVID really, really toned me down. And I would say that for me, it has really, really taught me a lot. And I've been live with my fans almost every day, teaching each other, encouraging each other, motivating each other. And yeah, it's a blessing. And in each and every situation, there has to be a solution, isn't it? So we can't just go somewhere and start crying and say it's COVID, COVID, COVID. No, COVID, we have to learn how we now change our stress into a reality, you know? Change your stress into, because these people are all over me, these technical people. So my English is, change your stress into ideas. I don't want this movement here. You are taking away my English. Yeah. So, yeah, COVID was a curse and a blessing at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last question, I think.
Yeah, let's do the last question. Which one? You want to choose it?
Grateful to hear the book is being animated.
Great.
Yeah, someone is asking who is this? This girl follows you quite a lot. She's sent 3, 4. She's very interested in this. Yes.
Yeah. She asked, grateful to hear the book is being animated. If you were to write another book on an insecurity you've learned to conquer, what would it be on? And what lessons would you pass across to others currently dealing with it? You know what? That is a good question. When I got told, if I were to write something else, I would like to write something about sensitivity. about having deep felt emotions. When I was younger, I got told that I was too emotional about things. And what it did is that it made me feel inadequate. It made me feel like I'm a drama queen. Luckily, I turned to a career that requires me to be very emotional. But I think that emotions are a really good source of information, and it is very important to allow children who don't understand the world, they're new in the world, to allow them to experience the size of the emotions that they're having. Because in relation to their age, that those sizes make perfect sense. So if I could write a book that addressed that, I would love to allow to kind of give children permission to feel, and to also maybe teach adults how important it is to harness and develop a child's emotional availability, because it actually keeps you in tune with what's going on around you, to be receptive emotionally.
Wow, that's very sensitive, because I didn't know that your career can actually change you into somebody. So you mean your career like affected your emotions and made you?
Well, no, what I mean is that being an actor requires me to have access to my emotions, right? Because in order to be able to play make-believe and to pretend like my mother has just died and my father has abandoned me and all those things that aren't true to my life, and cry and do. Yes, it takes a certain girth of emotional accessibility. And so in the end, me being hyper emotional was actually quite helpful to my career, because if I wasn't as hyper emotional, I might not be able to do half the roles that I've been able to do. So again, it's something that seems like it's a weakness, but it's actually a strength. And that you'll find that a lot with what people criticize you about. I think sometimes it's good to pay attention to what you're being criticized about and find a way to harness that for some good, and find a way to make that criticism, that thing that they're pointing out, that's the thing that probably makes you special, and you can use it to your advantage.
Like they always say, I walk naked. Now I walk naked every day, every single day. Over the weekend, they know. Because I just realized it is my beautiful body that they don't want to see at 40, a mother of 5. So the truth of the matter is they're admiring the body, but they have refused to accept it. So to the girls who are listening to Lupita, every time someone criticizes you, please pay attention to the criticism. Because maybe whatever they're criticizing is the star in you. When I started singing, hey, these people refused. They actually, even sometimes when I call myself a celeb, they don't want. They refuse. But they are following. So I don't know what a celeb means. They actually tell me, you are not Beyonce, but I am the Akothee. I have not said I want to be Beyonce. I am the Akothee. So it took time for even Kenyans to accept me to be sincere